welcome back to Bluebell Island for episode 12 with me, Mr. Sealy P. All the sugar beeting is done. Field 17 has got bales which I need to collect, and I will be doing that in this episode, but there's a few things we need to talk about before I move on, and not hugely important, but need to be discussed. My old friend Barris messaged the other day to ask me about the island, and he'd said to me he found it very peculiar. I've mentioned a few times that I own the island, and the whole start of the series, the narrative of me buying the island, was having sold up on Drummard Farm. I used the money to buy this island, and he said, if you own the island, why don't you own all of the fields? Well, there's a story behind that. The farmer that owned this island before struggled financially for a while, so what he did was sold off plots of land to other farmers that lived on the mainland. He worked the fields and did the work for them, but they owned those plots, so he kind of sold off shares in his island. When he finally sold up and I bought the island, obviously those farmers have got leases on those fields, so I don't own all of the fields because they've been leased out to other people. But what I am doing gradually is buying those leases back, because I want the island to be a farm and, you know, an estate kind of thing. So that's how it's kind of worked. Whilst I own the island, some of those fields are leased out and kind of technically owned by other farmers. I'm not the sort of person to just turn up and tell everyone, right, that's it, I'm taking it all back. I'm going to gradually buy them back. If they don't want to sell them, then they don't need to sell them back to me. It's not a problem at all. But that's what's happening there. Now, talking of narratives and, you know, adding a storyline, a bit of feel to a Let's Play, I have been exposed to something extraordinary over the last few days, I have to say. And I'm going to explain about that in just a second. I'm first of all going to jump in the Hurleyman. I'm going to get this cultivator going, because the field needs cultivating. It's been sitting here since the last episode, ready to go. This cultivator should be working properly now. There are a few problems, I think, with the... not the tines, are the chisels? It's kind of a deep-looking cultivator, this one. Almost like a subsoiler. So let's get that cracking. It wasn't working properly, it was missing bits. So it's been repaired, and this should all be working perfectly well now. So anyway, as I was saying, I was left a comment by a very, very lovely man who was incredibly complimentary about me, and his name is Eustace Farmer. And the weird thing was, I got the message and I read it and I was very flattered and I replied back, but in my mind I was thinking, I know that name, and I couldn't figure out where. And then it dawned on me. When I was watching Daggerwin's first look map tour on the West Coast, because a few PC gamers have been given early access by Bullet Bill, Eustace Farmer's name was one of the ones along the bottom of people that were given access to do an early first look. So I went on his channel, and I have now subscribed. And I urge you all, and I mean this, I urge you all, go over, have a look, subscribe. His channel is amazing. He's part of a group, 3 Dudes Gaming. You can go on, join their forum and stuff as well. But I've been watching his. Now, like every YouTuber, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You might go over and say, no, I don't really like it. I am truly, truly mesmerised. When you watch his Let's Plays, his Let's Plays have a narrative, a storyline, and it's like watching a film. and that's no word of a lie. I've honestly been watching episode after episode, mesmerised. My daughter came in, she sat and joined me, mesmerised. The combination of the music, the editing, his voiceover, the narrative, all of it together is truly, truly a phenomenon. And you're probably asking yourself, why as a YouTuber would you be plugging somebody else when you want people to be viewing you? Well, you're already viewing. It's like preaching to the converted. You're already viewing me. You're watching my videos. It would be odd if you said, well, I'm not going to watch Mr. Silly P anymore, I'm going to watch this person. Generally speaking, I watch loads of different YouTubers on various different channels and different things. I've got a whole list of farming simulator YouTubers, and I'll watch their videos, and you get ideas for editing and all sorts of stuff, but honestly, go over, have a look. He's awesome. What I'm going to do now is there'll be a little screenshot that'll come up, and you can look at that, have a look, go over. Please, please do. You will not regret it. Okay, that being said, that's both the things I wanted to clear up today. So Barris, I hope that's answered your question. Eustace Farmer, go over, check him out. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, I mean, wow. he has a voice that could melt chocolate. It's just incredible. Anyway, enough said. I'm going up to the store, and there's a reason for this. I will see you there in a moment. What I need is an island taxi. It's a fair old trek, I have to say. Anyway, now, I said this at the time when I bought my new Massey Ferguson 27. I sold the case, and the case was the cheaper one of the two harvesters I had. This one is the more expensive one. Someone commented the other day saying the New Holland TC590 is not an old harvester, and I did reply to that comment. I did say it's not, but it's a small one and it works really well on the farm. And don't get me wrong, I love these. I love New Hollands. I've made no bones about that. I do love New Holland tractors, machinery, etc. And I've always tried to upscale and go right up to the 1090. But I'm going to sell it. It would help if I actually put it in the sell point, wouldn't it? I don't know. What's the matter with me today? Just drop that header down and just disconnect it so it doesn't go all peculiar. But I'm going to sell it, and it will all become clear why in a moment. So 151,000, absolutely. And come back in and let's sell the header for 24,000. So over to the store. Now, I have been so impressed with that Massey Ferguson 27. I have been scouring the internet trying to find another one. And they're old harvesters, don't get me wrong. But we've been lucky enough to find one. So, standard or with warning triangle? Warning triangle, absolutely. For 100. It's on dollars again, isn't it? Because I was on Westbridge Hills. I need to change that. But anyway, with warning triangle. So, let's buy that. And then obviously the header that goes with it, the Massey Ferguson 27 cut. There we go. So for a grand total of 62,100, well, euros, pounds, dollars, whatever it is, whatever currency I should have it in. Let's buy that. Thank you very much. Now, the reason I was selling that was because it was worth a lot of money. This harvester will do exactly the same job, and like I say, I was very, very impressed with it when I did field 17 and I did the baling. So I've got another one, and I think the header, this one, the 27 cut, is a little bit wider than the standard one. I could be wrong, could be the same size. No, what I'm saying, it probably is exactly the same size. But I've got 211,000, and there's a reason. I needed some money, and the money I was making doing contracting jobs, it would have taken me hours to get that money. So here's what I'm going to do. I need a telehandler, and I mentioned this before, and the telehandlers are big and they're kind of, this is a small farm with small equipment. So then I remembered I used this on the old Stream farm. The Kramer, the little Kramer, it's only 60,000. It's a little mini telehandler. It's a fantastic little bit of kit. So for £60,000, euros, dollars, I'm going to have a Kramer. But what I'm also going to do, and it's a new fangled bit of technology, I keep saying that on this map, it's all old stuff generally speaking, but this thing is brilliant. The Kotek fork with claws. I've used it a lot on other Let's Plays, but I'm going to get it and buy it because I've got to sort out those bales off the field. They need collecting. Now the other thing I'm also going to do to make this far easier for myself, I could do one bale at a time and it could take me forever. But what I can also do, and I'm going to lease this, not buy it, the Quadro pack, and I still don't know, pack 5, pack V. It's only 25,000 to buy, but I'm not going to do baling that often. To lease it's only 2,000. So I'm going to get it in yellow. It doesn't matter because I've got various different tractors, so it doesn't matter what colour it comes in. So I'm going to lease that. This is going to help us with our baling today, I hope. Now what I have realised is in walking over here, which I thought, yeah, I'd have a nice stroll over, and I mind you, this might it might work. We'll see how we get on with this. Don't know. But jump in the Kramer, if I can get in around the header. It's going to be a bit of fiddling around with equipment first. Let's just jump in this. Lots of rattling and squeaking, but it does the job. I love it. It's really growing on me. So we'll have two. Let's get that header up and just get this out of the way for the moment. Open that door so I can get out a bit easier. Right, let's jump out and jump in the Kramer. I love this. This thing is so cool. It's a modern bit of machinery, but it's quite small. It fits. But it's got all-wheel steering, which makes the turning circle absolutely fantastic. But we've also got an extendable boom, he says. So it's like a little mini telehandler. Fantastic little bit of kit. Nice lot of weight over the back axle, which means it works perfectly when you're doing bales and stuff. Now I did do bales on the Old Stream farm using this fork before, and it was bordering on unbalanced. It is a very big fork for this bit of machinery, but it does work. So let's hook that up. I'm hoping I can hook up the Pack V5 thing. Please hook up, please. Yes, so I can take this over to the farm. Right, we're going to go to field 17 and we're going to get these bales off the field onto a bale trailer and over to the dairy farm. That hooked up really nicely actually. The Pack 5 is a cracking bit of kit, really nice. It works well if you bale and have it attached to the baler, but obviously the baler I've got doesn't hook up to this. So I can do it in two separate things. It really doesn't matter. It's not about speed. "25, 26 miles an hour. It's quite a rapid little bit of kit, isn't it, this? Very nice. Very nice indeed. So I've got my own little diddy telehandler. Right, I'll see you over by the field in a minute. So I have arrived at field 17. And I'm hoping that it will actually work on here. It doesn't need to be on a tractor because there's no PTO. But what I've done is the little ramp bar roller section I've dropped down. That's what kind of turns it on. Normally the bales would come out the back of a baler onto that roller and into this, but what it can do is almost like an auto stack function. So what will happen hopefully is as I drove past the bale, it will pick up the bale like that and put it into the stacker, which means I can drive around this field quite happily, collect up the bales into stacks of 4 and prepare them, which is going to make loading up the bale trailer far easier. He says maybe I need to be a little bit closer. Let's see. There we go. So we'll raise it up again. Ready for the next one. Just got to put another one down here, I think. I'll kind of go up and down the field. So as close as I can. Come on. There we go. 3. And one more should do the trick. So I'll swing around and grab the one that's just around here. Like so. And that's 4 bales in. I'll show you this on the outside because this is, if you haven't seen this before, it's nice. I like it. Try and get into a little bit of flat area. So what we'll do now is drop the bales down, open the gate on the back. Once they're on the floor, release them, pull forward, close the gate, and we're ready to do the next 4. So they're stacked in little stacks of 4. Makes life far, far easier. So I'm going to whiz around this field, collect up these stacks, or these bales, and stack them, ready to be put onto the bale trailer. While that's happening, I need to also sort out my worker to take the cultivator over to the next field and make sure the next field's cultivated as well. My workers come over from the mainland every day on the little ferry. There's a little ferry boat thing, not quite a rowboat but not much bigger, into the old, I keep saying the port, it's not the port is it, but I'll check on the map because I get the map, he says, the map. The old docks. I keep saying port, it's the old docks. I was just having a chat to the worker. He's finished on field 16 and brought the cultivator over to field 9. And I was just double checking with him to make sure it worked on field 16, and it worked perfectly. No gaps, no bouncing, it was all really, really good. And what he's also told me, always helps to ask the people that know, this is called an S-tine cultivator. Because the tines here, and they were tines, I thought they were when I said tines, chisels, but it's an S shape here, an S-tine cultivator. And the reason it wasn't working properly before was because some of these tines are quite old on here. They were bent and damaged, and they were leaving gaps and that kind of thing. If you look at the way they're positioned, you get the nice even kind of space, and I assume it was just because some were damaged and needed sorting out. The bolts were loose, I don't know. But anyway, it's fixed and it's working. So he's going to get a cup of tea. He'll be back and he's going to carry on with this field. And I'm going to get back over and finish off collecting those bales. And we'll get that done. So yeah, back over to the field. He'll be back in a bit. We'll get on with that. So last bale. I think I had 26 on this field. So that would work out right. 24 would give me 6 stacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of 4 with 2 left over. Now my workers, as you can see, are getting rather impatient. They want to start ploughing, which is obvious, of course they do, and when the cultivating's finished on field 9 they're going to come over here and cultivate here. They've also brought over the bale trailer. So yeah, I need to crack on with this, don't I? Don't want to waste too many hours in the day, do we? So I'm going to get this off the field, just out of the way for the time being, and then we'll use the little Kramer to get these bales onto the trailer. So let's just unhook. Perfect. We'll start with a 4 that's further away. And what we'll do is we'll retract the claws. If I can get that right. That's it, that way. Retract the claws. I've never been particularly good at doing this in cab, unfortunately. Maybe it's something I need to practice. Just go onto a test map and or someone else's field and practice just bailing a field and then looking at that wasn't straight at all, was it? That was terrible. Anyway, that'll have to do. Right, let's close the forks, lift that up. This is what amazes me with this Kramer. I mean, it is heavy, you can tell it's leant forward a little bit, but it's not tipping up. We'll see when we try and get up onto the trailer though. That could be a whole different ball game. Let's see how we get on. But we should have this cleared in no time. 6 stacks. It might be a couple of runs backwards and forwards. Let's see how this goes. Shouldn't have to extend the arm. There's a little bit of rock there, isn't there? Oh, look at the bales. Why have they done that? That's very strange. I'll overhang a little bit, see if I can get away with putting more on. Oh, I'm really disappointed with that. It's never done that before. I'm going to leave it hooked to the tractor. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a lip as well, but we'll see how we get on with that. That should do. And pull that out. Perfect. Right. I'm hoping when I put them on from the other side, I can straighten that out. Oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. Retract those, put that up a bit. I'll just adjust these, we'll sort them out. Right, last 4 that will fit onto the trailer anyway. I should be able to get them on the back, I hope. And that will leave me 6 bales to take off. A stack of 4 there, which is just off the field, and there are 2 right over there. I'll get those later on, but these need to go to the dairy farm. Hopefully I can push these. For some reason, every now and again, I've never had a problem with these forks before. Never. I've always found them to be very, very reliable. For some reason, the stack's done that. I don't know why. It's very odd. Never mind. So what I'll do, hopefully, if I can push forward against that. I'm not even straight, am I? Look, how terrible is that? Right. Oh, dearie me. Right. Let's try this again, shall we? So I was so busy worrying about the fact the stack wasn't on the forks properly. Didn't even get onto the bale trailer properly. There we go, that's better. So, hopefully push that in without shoving the other tractor too far ahead. That's not too bad. We're getting somewhere. Right, drop that down. Now what I will do is gradually come out of there. If I come down below that, I wonder if it'll work. Use actual frame. No, I'm hitting the underside. Anyway, not to worry. Let's jump out of there. Strap that on before it falls off. And that's that. So we've got 5 stacks. So 20 bales on there, another 6 to come off the field. So this needs to go over to the dairy farm. So while the workers are preparing the plough, and the cultivators now over here as well, they'll get that going. I'm going to take this over to the farm, and while I do, I need to be very careful with this because it's a single axle. We've got a lot of weight on here. Turning, this could go... It could go for a Burton, as they say. And that I do not want to happen. As you can see, it can lean very, very easily. It would help if I was driving on the track and not on the grass. But something I meant to say at the start of the video, and it's this. I actually met one of my subscribers at the weekend. Weirdly enough, I'd met this person before, but didn't know they were a subscriber. And they told me at the weekend they subscribe to my channel and watch all of my videos, and you know, which is fantastic to actually meet a subscriber that's not a member of my family. My nephew does it all the time, will shout out in public, "Oh look, it's Mr. CDP." But this was a genuine, bona fide subscriber. So Taylor, if you are watching, hello. I hope you're enjoying this video. It was very nice to meet you, if at times a little bit scary. I'm joking. Taylor will know what I mean. But I do have to say, for me, it was genuinely very, not exciting's the wrong word, but yeah, it was fascinating meeting somebody who subscribes to you, because you know when you're online you've got subscribers and people message you and comment, but actually meeting subscribers for real, you know, real people, that was really cool. So thank you, Taylor. Thank you for all the nice things you said. I won't say what you was doing. You know, people will be a little bit not freaked out by it, but if I've just outed you, Taylor, I do apologise. I think Taylor's a bit of a closet farming simulator fan, so if his friends didn't know now, they now know. Sorry, Taylor. But anyway, carrying on with what I'm doing. Take these to the dairy farm. Now I have a massive dilemma. I can leave this to the workers, just pull up the trailer and hopefully they'll unload it for me. I can unload it myself and put it into a very, very neat stack. The other thing with this Massey Ferguson bale trailer is it's got, I say, an unload function. It tips backwards basically is what it does. So I could, yes, I need to slow down a bit. So I could just tip the whole trailer bed backwards and the whole lot would just come off. But it would be an incredibly messy pile of bales. Now I could do that if I'm not bothered. At the end of the day I'm going to use them for feed. If they're just in a big heap on the floor, it's not the end of the world. But anyone who knows me, who's been watching my channel for a while, knows unfortunately my OCD will not allow that to happen. I could not imagine just having a big old stack of bales piled up on the floor. So I will need to work out the best way of doing this. I could just bring the Kramer over. It's probably the best bet, and just unload them. But what I will do is unload that, get that sorted, get the last 6 bales off of the field, and I'm going to get the ploughing started. I think that's the next thing to do. So for the time being, I'm just going to stop that there and jump out, and I'll sort that out because that's going to take a little while to do. But we will get over to sorting out the rest of field 17. What I need is, like on the west coast, I need footpaths across the island. It's not a very big island, to be fair. I know where I'm going. It's not really map and compass territory, is it? I'm just on the way back from the pig pen. I've taken the 2 bales that were spare over, and they're sitting by the side ready to be used as bedding. The last 4 I'm going to take over to the dairy farm. There's no point coming back with the trailer because I can put 4 on here. I'll take a nice slow drive over. Ploughing is, or has commenced, is commencing. It has commenced and it will be continuing. This is a big field, so it's going to take a little while to plough this one, especially with that smallish plough. And then once I've got a little bit of a way over here, the next worker will crack on with the cultivating. Next episode is going to be seeding. I'm going to have to get seed in the ground on 16, 9 and 17, and then check all the other fields to make sure they're all going okay. I don't think any of them need any fertilising, spraying or anything like that at the moment that I'm aware of. Then I need to think about next jobs, maybe a bit more contracting, buy another field. I'm going to put OSR in the ground because I want to start sorting out, making sure I've got a supply for the pigs. Bring over the hay bales that are over on that grass field, the round ones that I've got left, and then probably get some more mixed ration made. There's supposed to be a silo coming out soon. I think it's in testing with Giants for like a forage silo, so I don't know if it's going to be for grass and hay or whether it's going to be for mixed ration. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. So I'm going to very, very slowly, actually I'll put the beacon on, not there's anyone about, but it doesn't hurt, does it? And get this over to the dairy farm. Take it nice and steady so I don't lose anything off here. And just thank you for watching another episode on Bluebell Island. This is the end of this episode. Got all the stuff off the field I needed to do. The cultivating's been going along nicely. While they were doing that, I've also brought the other Massey Ferguson 27 over to the farm. That's now parked in the barn, or the shelter. And the day-to-day running of the farm continues. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. And if you want to leave a comment, feel free. If you want to share this video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.